How to buy real estate below market value. Now, this is a question that crosses every real estate investor's mind because everybody wants a deal, right? I mean, if you could buy real estate below market value, I mean, in these times where prices have gotten so out of hand, it would be like printing money, right? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna go over how to buy properties, how to buy real estate below market value, why sellers would even consider doing such, and then I'm gonna give you 5 specific areas that you can look for where your chances of buying below market value are the greatest, so you can find better deals. I buy on average 15 properties or so per month, and I buy them to flip, I buy some of them to hold, and all of them are below market value. And one of the greatest advantages of real estate is you get to negotiate directly with the owner. And what that does is it typically gives you the opportunity to buy property for lower than what they're actually worth. So why would an owner sell you their property for less than what their property is worth? Well, what happens in life, it comes along and kicks everybody in the teeth every now and then. And the sellers or owners just they got something going on in their world right now, in their life, where it's much more important than them getting full price for their property. It's much more important for them to go through the traditional process of selling a house. They've got bigger fish to fry, and it typically revolves around some sort of distress. That might be personal distress, financial distress, or maybe the property itself is in some sort of distress. Bottom line is, they've got an issue that money will likely solve, and their asset, their house, is probably their best opportunity to resolve that situation, and that's most important to them right now, and then you step in to help them out with that situation. Every seller has different motivations, and because they do, that creates the opportunities for real estate investors like you and I to buy properties at a discount. Now, there are many ways to buy properties at a discount, many ways to reach out to these sellers, and I've put together a list of how to do that, some of the most effective ways of doing that. First, the multiple listing service. This is what we call the MLS, and this is the basic tool of real estate agents where they help their clients sell their houses, where they help their clients buy houses. And it's also the service that feeds the public websites like a Zillow, like a Redfin, like a Trulia, where the world essentially shops for homes these days. Traditionally, because of the huge number of people that are on these websites shopping for homes, it can be a difficult place to find a deal. They could be difficult to come by unless you know how to actually look for them. For example, on Redfin, and part of their criteria, there's actually a little unknown box there that you can check that identifies fixer-uppers, typically a good place to find properties below market value because they need fixing. Another example on the multiple listing service is looking for properties that have been on the market for a really long time. Especially today, when houses seem to be selling really, really fast, maybe sometimes in days, sometimes even in hours. If there's a property on the multiple listing service that has been sitting for 45, 60, 90 days, there's a reason why. And that seller has been on the market for a little while, and there might be some motivation there. They might be ready to negotiate because they've discovered that the market is probably not going to give them their price, and if they do need to sell, it might be a great time to negotiate. And one other area that's really popular to find deals are expired listings. These are properties that have been on the market, they've been listed with a real estate agent, maybe 1 agent, 2 agents, 3 agents for a while, and for one reason or another, they haven't sold and those listings have expired. When they have expired, those listings now are free game. You can reach out to those sellers directly and you can negotiate with the seller directly, potentially to find yourself a deal there too. Number 2, moving fast. Fast is the new big, because if you can move fast, sometimes that's a bigger advantage than having the biggest bank account. So to move fast, you need to know what you're looking for before you actually start looking. You don't want to be a buyer of real estate. You want to be a shopper of real estate. The best investors are. And the only way that you can shop for real estate is to actually know what you're shopping for. And that's important because if you know what you're shopping for, if you know what you're looking for up front, you'll know it when you see it, and that will enable you to act fast. Taking time to think about it or to sleep on it or to go out and kind of conduct some extra due diligence or run your numbers, that can cause you to miss out on a lot of deals because while you're out there doing your research, another buyer, another investor has snuck in, got the property under contract, and now is taking it away from you. So a great element of buying property below market value is making quick decisions and acting fast. Number 3, you can work and network with other real estate investors. You know, every investor is a buyer or a seller at some time, and they're coming across deals all the time that might not be a good fit for them, but it might be a good fit for you. So as long as they know what you're looking for, that could be a great avenue, a great channel for you to find properties that are below market value. Of all the properties I buy every year, a great deal of them come through my relationships. They come from other real estate investors. And most of the time, it's my favorite way to do it because it's easy. They've done all of the work for me. Now, before I break down 2 other ways to find properties below market value, if this is starting to make sense to you and you're taking your real estate investing seriously, let me know by clicking the subscribe button. You know, I post cool stuff like this each and every week, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. Now, number 4, real estate auctions. Now, there are a number of different types of auctions, one being a foreclosure auction. Those happen on the courthouse steps. And there are tax lien auctions, there are tax deed auctions, and these are typically run by the city or the county or the state, and they'll happen, every 6 months, maybe annually. And there are U.S. Marshal auctions, there are online auctions, there are estate auctions. There's a number of different types of auctions out there. You just gotta do a few Google searches and you're gonna get all kinds of different opportunities. Now, one thing about auctions, it typically requires you to have cash in hand. You're gonna need that cash up front. And you're not gonna have too much time to make your decision. So you're gonna wanna do some research up front. You're gonna wanna see what the properties are all about before you even make your bids. Because you really don't wanna get into a situation where your emotions get the best of you and you start overpaying for properties. They might seem like a deal at the auction, but if you've done your research up front, you'll know whether they are or aren't. Number 5, marketing. Serious real estate investors will always have a marketing campaign running. The idea is to have your bait out there to attract sellers that need your services. Now, there are certain situations that sellers go through. Many of them are unfortunate ones, and they will reach out for help. They'll go ahead and respond to the type of advertising, the type of marketing that's going to fit their situation right now. It might be they want a fast sale. They might want to sell without having to do repairs. They might want to just avoid commissions and fees and just kind of not deal with a real estate agent at all. So if you've got your marketing out there, that can be really beneficial when sellers are ready to make that decision. So by putting yourself out there, specifically in your neighborhoods of choice, through either direct mail or little post-it notes on the door, maybe you're door knocking, what you're gonna kind of do is create a relationship with that community to be the go-to person when they are ready to sell. They're gonna call you because that's who they remember. So those are 5 different ways to actually find the deals. But finding those deals is not typically the biggest barrier to actually ending up with a deal for yourself. You need to know how to talk to the sellers. You need to know how to influence them to sell their property to you. And what I've done is I put down a link below, and it's somewhat of a science, and I kind of put those videos together for you. So if you're interested in that, you can find that in the description. And don't gloss over this because it is the single highest paying skill of a real estate investor, is how to have that conversation. And in those videos, I walk you through that whole process step by step. If you'd like to dive deeper into your real estate investing and start finding some properties that are below market value, I put a free training together for you too. You can go to mattsfreetraining.com and you can type that into your browser, or you can go ahead and click the link in the description below. Or if you'd like to get some one-on-one help, feel free to go to reiace.com. And there you can answer a few questions about your situation, and then you'll have the opportunity to pick a time for you and I to hop on the phone and brainstorm some ideas about what your real estate investing future looks like. And that's at reiace.com. Alrighty, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.